We don't want this thumb sticking up too high or too low. This curve always starts at this joint. So once you reach the end of that curve, that's when you're going to start these folds that signify the joint of the thumb. And this right here is a lot of skin and muscle that gets pushed out when the hand's closed. So it might be a pretty big arch. And this is going to catch light because this hand catches a lot of light here, but it starts getting darker and darker up until over here, into the edge of the finger. But since this is being pushed higher, it's going to catch more light and catch more shadow in this kind of a shape right here. I saw bones popping up, even up to the wrist. Now since we're at the wrist, I like to continue that arch over here and finish out this hand right here. Okay, I'm going to finish out these shadows to show the dimensions of the hand. And remember, this will catch light, and the light only quite shows when it's contrasted with all of this shadow. Otherwise, it's just another shape. Now it's time to darken this in. And depending on how firmly these hands are pressed together, you might have a lot of light, like just the same exact shade as here, or it might be matching with a shade somewhere found in here. So you be the judge of how much you want this thumb to stick out. And if the hands are pressed firmly together, where they're not put pressure on the tips, meeting the other tips, then sometimes the hand looks flatter. And if the hand looks flatter, where it's not being pushed up like this, then just start smoothing it out and just show how flat they are. But my model had some skin popping up right here. This part of the hand is going to start casting shadows onto the thumb. But again, since this thumb is sticking up, you're going to have a lot of light hitting the edge of the thumb right here. And it's going to draw attention to where the other thumb is going to touch it. Sometimes you'll get some wrinkles right here. And now we're ready for the next hand. I like to join them at the pinky. And so my model, his pinky was a little lower than this one was. And if the pinky presses against something, sometimes it can curve inward like this. So pay attention to what your model is doing, because that might be happening. And since this finger started below the tip of this finger, that means this joint is going to be lower too. I'm going to outline this part right here. Now follow the top of this joint inward, right here. Same here. And since this pinky's bent, it's probably not going to be pressed against the ring finger if the ring finger is going to come as high as this one, or almost as high. That means this finger has to be straighter, and since they're at different positions, and they're not going to touch each other, so that means this ring finger is going to catch a lot more light behind it. So it's important to contrast it by showing how much shadow this one is going to catch. So you'll see the light that this ring finger is going to catch. Let's establish a shadow line. If the shadow comes about a quarter of an inch away from the edge of the ring finger, then that's how much space you'll give it down, almost the whole way. And then we're going to compensate for the pinky covering it.